You think they matter? The voice of Chancellor Kree filled the chamber, sharp and condescending. Rows of alien diplomats erupted in laughter, their jeweled robes glinting under the council lights. Humans are nothing. They dig in dirt, launch fireworks into their own orbit, and call it progress. Why would we waste a vote on them? Admiral Reese of the Taver Dominion sneered. Their ships are chemical coffins. Their weapons are projectiles. For Star's sake, my fleet could erase their entire planet before their leaders finished arguing about what to do. More laughter followed, dismissive and cruel. For centuries, the Galactic Council had treated Earth as a quaint curiosity, something to observe, not to respect. Humans were tolerated only because they were amusing in their naivety, the equivalent of children playing soldier, while civilizations thousands of years old ruled the stars. The vote was called. With a sweep of hands and digital affirmations, Earth's petition for diplomatic recognition was denied yet again. No one expected humanity to protest. The message sent to their homeworld was brief and final. Stay in your lane. On the blue and green world below, the rejection was received in silence. In an underground chamber hidden beneath the Atlantic Council's primary base, grim-faced leaders gathered. Prime Minister Elias Ward stared at the transmission, then at the handful of scientists and military commanders seated around the table. His voice was calm, but carried a weight none dared challenge. They think we're a joke. They think we can't fight. They have no idea what we built. Behind him, a massive screen flickered to life. Engineers displayed schematics, an ungainly, asymmetrical vessel of dull gray plating and brutal lines. It looked nothing like the sleek ships the galaxy was used to. To alien eyes, it would appear as a scrapyard glued together with desperation. To humans, it was something entirely different. Project Aegis. Dr. Kara Vance, chief engineer, stepped forward. They've grown complacent. Their ships are elegant but fragile. Their weapons predictable. They haven't fought a real war in centuries. This ship was designed with one goal: to survive and win. No elegance, no rules, just raw adaptability. General Marcus Hale leaned forward, eyes narrowing. We built redundancy into everything. If a system fails, another takes over. If a weapon is lost, we improvise. No alien AI can model that. They've forgotten how to fight opponents who refuse to follow the script. Elias Ward studied the faces of his commanders. They all knew what was at stake. We're sending one ship, he said simply. No fleet, no second wave. If they want to see us as weak, let them. The moment Aegis launches, the galaxy will realize they made the worst mistake in their history. Above Earth's orbit, the ship waited. It had no sleek hull or glowing engines, only layers of reinforced plating, a patchwork of weapons both conventional and experimental, and a reactor that hummed with barely contained power. Its crew of 200 wasn't chosen for honor or lineage, but for their sheer willingness to do whatever it took to survive. As the countdown to launch began, Kara stood in the command deck beside Marcus, the tension palpable. "Did you think they'll understand what we're about to do?" she asked quietly. Marcus smirked. "No, and that's the point." The engines roared to life, a deep, primal sound that reverberated across the void. Aegis broke free from Earth's gravity, accelerating faster than any human ship had before. In distant systems, alien patrols detected the launch but dismissed it as insignificant, just another primitive experiment. Far away, in the halls of the Galactic Council, Chancellor Kree sipped her ornate drink as the councilors celebrated their unanimous vote. "The humans will stay quiet," she said smugly. "They always do." But deep in the cold black of space, Aegis surged forward, its crew silent and focused. Humanity had decided, and there would be no turning back. The galaxy had mocked them for too long. No grand declarations were sent. No threats were made. The humans had learned long ago that the loudest threat is the one no one sees coming. Prime Minister Ward's final order echoed in Marcus's mind as the star streaked past. They won't understand until it's too late. Make sure they never forget what we're capable of. And with that, the lone ship vanished into the void, on a mission that would burn its name into history forever. The first alien fleet spotted Aegis just beyond the outer rim of the Taver Dominion. 5 sleek cruisers, their hulls glowing with polished energy shields, glided toward the strange vessel. The alien commander, Admiral Volker, broadcasted a single message dripping with arrogance. Unidentified scrap heap. Power down and prepare be towed. You are in violation of Dominion space. On the command deck, Marcus Hale didn't bother to reply. Kara, let them get closer, he said. The crew obeyed in silence, their hands steady over controls not automated by perfect AI. Humans still relied on manual overrides, gut instinct, and intuition, things aliens had long abandoned. At precisely 3 kilometers, Aegis came alive. Thrusters fired in an irregular pattern, throwing off targeting sensors. A swarm of kinetic slugs, traveling at unimaginable speeds, tore through the first cruiser before its shields could recalibrate. Explosions erupted as metal and fire bloomed in the void. The remaining ships scrambled to respond, but Aegis didn't fight by the rules. It deployed a barrage of nuclear missiles, each warhead spinning erratically to foil interception algorithms. 2 more cruisers were vaporized in a cascade of nuclear fire. The final 2 ships tried to retreat, broadcasting frantic distress calls. Cut comms, Marcus ordered. Kara's hands moved fast. With a few keystrokes, the Dominion ships' own navigation systems turned against them. Their thrusters fired randomly, slamming the vessels into each other in a violent collision that ended with a silent burst of light. The battlefield was quiet again. 5 advanced cruisers, gone in under a minute. The crew exchanged glances, not in celebration, but in grim understanding. This was only the beginning. Word traveled fast. In the council chambers, Admiral Reese slammed a clawed fist against the table. Impossible. No single vessel could destroy a patrol fleet that size. The counselors argued, theories swirling. Malfunction. Rogue AI. A freak accident. Anything but the truth that a human ship had just annihilated a fleet designed to dominate lesser species. On Aegis, the crew scavenged wreckage for parts, bolting alien tech directly onto their hull. We'll make it fit, Kara muttered, sparks flying as she oversaw the integration. Pretty isn't the goal. Survival is. Another fleet was dispatched, larger this time, with destroyers and heavy carriers. As they approached, Aegis powered down completely, letting itself drift. Alien scanners reported a dead vessel. The second fleet closed in confident. Then the humans struck again, reactivating in a split-second burst of power. Kinetic rods sliced through carrier bays. Nukes detonated at impossible trajectories. Hulls ruptured, ships shattered. Inside the council chamber, panic spread. They are not following any engagement protocols. Admiral Reese growled. Their tactics are random. No AI can predict it. They're not random, Chancellor Cree whispered, realization dawning. They're human. Each battle only made Aegis more dangerous. Alien components were stripped, studied, and hacked. Shields were welded over crude armor plating. Energy weapons were jury-rigged to fire from rails meant for missiles. The ship became uglier, stranger, but far deadlier. The galaxy had never seen war like this. Battles were meant to be ceremonial, strategic, and precise. Humans fought like cornered animals, dirty, unpredictable, and utterly without restraint. Marcus stared at the debris field from the latest battle. They still think we're weak, he said quietly. Kara smirked, tightening a bolt on a stolen alien cannon. Then let's prove them right, until we kill them all. The next message Aegis sent wasn't a declaration. It was a simple broadcast to every listening station in range, carrying Marcus's calm voice. We didn't come for war. But if you keep treating Earth as prey, you're about to learn what happens when prey bites back. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy felt something it had long forgotten. Fear. The Aegis didn't slow down. Every system it passed fell into chaos. Patrol fleets were wiped out before they could even organize, outposts stripped for fuel and weapons, and supply convoys left as burning wreckage. The humans didn't fight for glory. They fought to win, to survive, and to break the galaxy's illusion of control. At the Dominion's largest shipyard, alarms blared as the lone vessel tore through defensive screens. Hundreds of alien engineers fled, while automated turrets fired in perfect synchrony, only for Aegis to respond with brutal improvisation. A cloud of scrap metal, ejected from its hull at hypervelocity, overwhelmed targeting sensors. The turrets fired blindly, hitting their own ships. By the time the enemy realized what happened, Aegis had docked inside the facility, tearing apart half-completed warships for parts while the crew bolted on scavenged weapons mid-battle. Dr. Kara Vance oversaw the chaos with manic precision. Hook that plasma array to port. I don't care if it doesn't fit, make it fit. Sparks flew as alien tech fused with human engineering in ways that would horrify any council-proof scientist. Marcus Hale stood at the viewport, watching enemy reinforcements drop out of warp. "Incoming," he said flatly. "Then we test the new toys early," Kara replied with a grin. The fleet was enormous. Dozens of ships, each one superior to Aegis on paper. But paper didn't matter anymore. The humans hacked alien communications, feeding false orders into their networks. Massive destroyers turned their weapons on their own allies. Chaos bloomed, and in that chaos, Aegis struck like a predator. In the council chambers, the mood shifted from arrogance to desperation. Entire sectors were collapsing. Supply chains failed as human raids disrupted trade routes that had been stable for centuries. For the first time, the empires realized their strength had been an illusion. They had built perfect systems that worked only as long as no one broke the rules. "They are not fighting a war," Admiral Reese growled. "They are dismantling us piece by piece. They think like no species we've encountered," another counselor muttered, pale with fear. "No rituals. No predictable strategies. They treat battle as a puzzle, and they keep solving it." Across the galaxy, the Aegis became a nightmare told in hushed voices. Stations went dark. Fleets vanished. Empires that had mocked humanity now diverted their entire militaries to stop one ship, and still failed. The crew of Aegis didn't celebrate victories. They were too busy surviving, too busy adapting. Every battle made them stronger. Every defeat of an enemy shipyard gave them new weapons bolted crudely onto their hull. Inside the mess hall, Kara examined the ship's status with Marcus. "They'll send everything they have next," she said. "Good," Marcus replied. "Let them. We've come too far to stop now." The largest fleet in known history assembled to intercept them. Hundreds of warships from multiple empires. A united armada forged out of fear. For the first time, the galaxy cooperated against a common enemy. When they engaged Aegis, they expected a desperate last stand. Instead, the humans exploited every flaw in their unity, hacking shared networks, feeding contradictory commands, and turning ships against one another. In minutes, the unstoppable fleet became its own executioner. Ships fired blindly, allies destroyed each other, and amidst the carnage, Aegis cut through like a blade through soft flesh. Back in the council chambers, the silence was suffocating. Chancellor Kree's voice was barely above a whisper. "One ship. Just one ship, and we can't stop them." Fear turned to dread. Dread turned to panic. And still, Aegis moved forward, heading straight for the heart of galactic power. The Aegis didn't stop after the Great Armada's destruction. Instead, it advanced deeper into enemy territory, faster than any response could form. Every intercepted transmission from panicked admirals painted the same picture. Nothing they tried worked. Their weapons failed. Their shields collapsed, and their fleets tore themselves apart under human manipulation. At the center of galactic power lay the Solaris Nexus, a colossal Dyson sphere that supplied energy to half the galaxy. It was the beating heart of every empire, the one place no single ship could ever threaten. Marcus Hale stood on the command deck, eyes fixed on the sprawling artificial star. As it came into view, "That's the one," he said quietly. Kara Vance, covering grease and burns from non-stop repairs, glanced at the readings. "If we do this, there's no going back." "There was no going back the moment we launched," Marcus replied. Aegis accelerated to impossible speeds, its patched-together system screaming under the strain. Alien defense fleets scrambled to intercept, but every ship that closed and was annihilated by nuclear salvos, jury-rigged energy weapons, and raw kinetic strikes that bypassed shields entirely. The humans didn't plan to destroy the Nexus. They planned to break it. Kara had spent weeks studying captured alien tech and realized the entire system depended on a single vulnerable control relay. If it failed, cascading power failures would ripple across thousands of connected systems. As alien superweapons fired, Aegis dove straight through the chaos, shrugging off hits that should have destroyed it. Redundant plating melted away. Engines blew out, but the crew refused to stop. In its final charge, the ship rammed a massive kinetic rod, its last weapon, straight into the control relay. The impact lit up the void like a newborn star. The Nexus flickered, then went dark. Entire sectors of the galaxy fell silent as power grids collapsed, fleets were stranded, and planetary economies crumbled in hours. In the council chambers, horrified leaders watched their centuries-old order disintegrate. "They've done it," Chancellor Kree whispered, her voice hollow. One ship, just one ship. A final broadcast cut across every channel. Marcus's voice, calm and resolute, carried to every world. "You believe we needed fleets. You believed we needed numbers. You believed we wouldn't fight back. Remember this, we only sent one ship." The transmission ended. Aegis vanished from every scanner. Whether it was destroyed or escaped, no one knew. All that remained was silence and a galaxy in ruins. Decades later, stories spread like legends of the ugly, patchwork ship that shattered empires. Children grew up hearing the same warning in hushed tones. Never underestimate a human. Earth never invaded. It never conquered. It never asked for tribute. But the galaxy would never recover from the day humanity stopped being a joke, because it learned the most terrifying truth of all. One ship had been enough.